You recording? You recording?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Hotfix, where Stylosis dances like I don't know
Look at my
what.
hair.
Get your David Tennant Doctor Who hair out.
It's totally
camera.
shit. I don't even like Doctor Who. It's shit. Have you seen the special effects in Doctor Who? They're shit.
Son, that's all of the BBC special effect budget. What are you talking about?
Mate, I'm gonna make you some special effects right now. Just you wait a second. Get ready.
God, if you mess your camera really badly and we
No,
have to
no, no,
restart
no.
to fix it, there's going to be trouble.
You might have to go to the other screen because I'm going to send you a link. But get ready, bloke.
God.
You got to show this on the screen. So
Right, hang on. Let me go to the desktop first. They can get a sneak peek as to what we're going to be looking at. There we go. We're over to the desktop. Oh, I've just remembered how to fix my stupid issue with my camera, with the black space. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to gamble here. This could go really bad, but we're going to gamble. We're going to gamble with we're going to add my webcam. And that is the right one there. Yes. Okay. Oh. No. Move to bottom. No. It won't move.
I mean, but seriously, I do
go.
not like Doctor Who. It's terrible.
There we go. Are you going to send me something, or are we just going to look at the desktop forever?
No, it's nearly done. It's nearly done.
They just got my face full screen there. Because I worked out what happens when there was like a black space whenever I switch from one scene back to the hotfix scene, and it's because my camera turns off when I switch scene. So I've just put my face in the other scene under the desktop so that the camera is permanently on. And that's the sound of my dog scratching herself because she knows how to behave whilst off camera. And
here we go.
This might be the worst start to hotfix ever.
No,
even considering last week's hotfix.
Doctor Who, mate. I might have spelled Doctor Who wrong because I put an R at the start of the Who for some reason.
They're just looking at an article that we're not even talking about. We're like 2 minutes in.
No. It'll be good. If you listen to this on like iTunes or whatever, then you need to sort yourself out. Because here you go. Here you go, man. This has took me ages, and this is an accurate rendition of what you get for Doctor Who special effects. I think you'll find it's 100% accurate.
God's sake. Hang on. Let me...
there you go. Look at that. Look at that.
Skype is now broken.
Oh, a tea's gone cold. God.
So that is apparently... That was absolutely not worth it.
that is the standard. Yes, but it shows you. It shows you how difficult it is to actually replicate Doctor Who's special effects. And that is basically a police box flying through space. Let me just run you through the theory.
Oh, okay, let me go back to it then.
Let me run you through the theory.
Jesus Christ.
You've got the police box here, and then you've got stars. It's flying through space, and it's going towards a planet. Right? You can see the water, and you can see the land masses. It's like that's what's happening there. And that's going to cost 50 pence, which is like 80% of the special effects budget for that program. And while I'm here, I find that program extremely cheesy. Like, really embarrassingly, cheesily shite.
I'm still getting the black box whenever I switch over to the scene. So I apologise, ladies and gentlemen, for that. I don't know how to fix it. Also, it's really dark today. So
you don't seem that dark to me.
Yeah, but that's because you got the shit cam, haven't you?
Which is better than the good cam. Anyway,
yeah, which is
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hotfix. And I want to say a big thank you to Nicholas Sly for the support that was given to the Hotfix. And thanks to everybody else who supports Hotfix as well. And if you do want to support a Hotfix, I don't know where this is, but just watch Mr. Kiri, you'll point. There's a thing at the top of the video player. If you click that, it'll take you to the Patreon for the Hotfix, which is beautiful. Below us as well, there are links all over the place. If you click them, you can support the show. Now, Hotfix and its sister show, Pubcast, are completely supported by this because they take hours to make, and they are obviously not covered in advertising revenue at all because we don't get hundreds of thousands of views. That's why, if you like these shows, guys, you have to support them on Patreon, and we'll keep doing them. And you get a shout out when you support on the next Hotfix.
And for once, we haven't said that this week's Hotfix is laser focused, which I think is fair enough because the start of it was you dancing, then drawing in MS Paint and complaining about Doctor Who. So we can't say that it's laser focused because we didn't talk about anything related to games.
Give me Picard any day of the week. Anyway,
as people can tell from the fact that they just sat and looked at it for 2 minutes without us talking about it, we have a very good first topic. And this
can anybody guess the first topic?
It is. Can you guess? Answers on the back of a postcard. And it is very, I want to say it's very near and dear to our hearts as people who aren't arseholes on YouTube. And it's simply this. This is from Gamasutra, however you want to pronounce it. Dead Realm publisher disregards FTC disclosure guidelines for YouTubers. So I'm just going to quickly take you through this. It won't take long because I can read and so can you. A few weeks ago, a multiplayer horror game, Section Studios' Dead Realm, was released on Steam's Early Access service and quickly rose to briefly become one of its top sellers. According to Steam Spy, it sold 70,000 units for $15, and it's undoubtedly a satisfying game, given almost 1,500 reviews averaging very positive. In particular, the game has proven popular among YouTubers, in part because it's explicitly designed to be played in front of an audience. We developed this game to not only be fun to play, but also fun to watch. Reads an excerpt from the game's description on Steam. That sentence doesn't make very much sense. The rise of YouTubers has definitely affected how many developers make games, but Dead Realm is a special case. It's published by 3 Black Dot, the influencer-driven entertainment startup founded last year by ex-Machinima staffers in conjunction with YouTubers Tom Syndicate Castle and Adam Sinanas Montoya. This is important because both Syndicate and Sinanas have published multiple videos of themselves excitedly playing Dead Realm without clearly disclosing their financial ties to the game's publisher, seemingly defying FTC's strict guidelines for how YouTubers should disclose paid endorsements.
Dearie me.
So
here we are again, Mr. Kieran. No! Here we are again.
Here we are again. So what they've done, no, ignore that. What they've done is they have a very serious tie to the game. They financially gain, they financially benefit from the game's success. They've had a hand effectively in the game's creation. That was a legitimate use of that, not just a bridge use of that word then. So for them to play the game and then be like, I'm just playing this game, lol, look how cool it is, and oh my god, how scary is this, without saying that they are actually properly benefiting from its success, that's really bullshit, in a really severe way.
You know, this is... this is a whole new can of worms, well, it isn't really new, but I'm going to enlighten some people as to why this is going on, right? Because Tom Syndicate and Nanas are not... I wouldn't say they are like on like a dirtbag level of like, we're just going to advertise stuff to you and not tell you, right? I don't think they do that. But what you've got here, right, is a major conflict of it's just, right, it's cult of personality to the extreme, right? You've got Tom Syndicate, people watch him who are in their early 20s, and probably younger than that, who look up to this guy, because they like the way he acts, I mean, I'm looking at his YouTube channel. He's pulling stupid faces. He's just stupid. He's like English, I don't know, chav, idiotic, crazy gaming, whatever, right? Loads of people like that, Nanas is the same, but an American version, okay? But that cult of personality to the extreme. They cannot talk about money, right? Because their audience, Rooster Teeth are like this as well. Their audience do not understand that they are doing this to make money. They are not doing it for their audience. Their audience believe that Tom goes out of his way to make these videos to make them laugh. What they don't realise is that he's getting hundreds of thousands of views a day and making thousands and thousands of pounds every single week. Like, ludicrous amounts, like Premier League football amounts of wages coming into this guy.
Oh, yeah.
They don't understand that. And he will never say that, I have seen him do things about his house. And I've noticed there's been negative comments about that because he's had like a house built. And obviously you can... I mean, if you've got like a 6-bedroom house being built, I mean, that's going to cost some money. It's not like cheap, is it? And it's got all crazy shit like... I think it's got a underground... not swimming pool, but like fish tank in the ground or something really. You know, just like totally ridiculous, like over the top. Got loads of money and wasting it away. But you get this conflict of interest they've got where they can't ever appear to be making money off their fans because they know their fan base is too immature to understand that this is a business. Now, we know our fan base isn't because we talk about it all the time. We don't have fucking 10-year-olds as fans. We don't care, or immature early 20-year-olds or teenagers or whatever as fans. Anybody of that age group who is a fan of us is most definitely mature. So, I'll go back to my original point. They've got a problem, They want to promote their game. Because this game, they're making money off it, this Dead Realm. I can see there's 2 videos on his... No, there's 3 videos on his channel. 4 videos on his channel. 5 videos on his channel in the last 3 weeks of this game, And each one of these videos is... Well, the first one's 500,000 views. The next one's 440,000 views. The next one's nearly 400. You're looking at millions of combined views, He doesn't say that, hey, guys, I I'm a shareholder in the company that is selling this game, well, that is publishing this game. So I make money when you buy the game because my shares increase. Now, I'm led to believe that this guy is actually quite clever, and I think most people are when they're this size, you know, like your PewDiePies and whatever. They're not idiots. They know what to do. They're reinvesting their money into things, and they're making good decisions. But this is where we've got a massive problem here, because what they are doing is they are advertising the product for their own monetary gain. They're taking the piss out of their fan bases, but they know they can't actually say, hey guys, I'm promoting this product because I've been paid to, or hey guys, I actually own the company that sells this product, so if you buy it I get money. Because as soon as they say that, there's a problem. There is a big problem, because this like fallacy of, wow, I'm only making videos for you guys, it's totally gone now, because he's saying he's making money off you. And I find this really weird. I mean, I bet you've got a ton of examples of Rooster Teeth being the same, like, well, their fans being the same way. It's so delusional, and I just don't understand.
The Rooster Teeth stuff, it's one of my pet peeves, because I quite like Rooster Teeth as a company. Like, they you know, they've done a lot of, for what they are incredibly successful, and they're obviously not stupid. Like, you don't get to the point of having 100+ employees by being an idiot. But at the same time, it's only recently that they've started to like fully disclose paid gigs. So when they upload a video, if there's something, if it's been paid for, they've got hashtag ad at the end of it. But that's only recent. Like, that's not been going on for a long time. And even like as recently as a couple of months ago, they got flown to Germany. Some of them, the Achievement Hunter crew did. They got flown to Germany to play an MMO called Echo of Soul. And the disclosure for that was, thanks to whatever they're called for letting us play Echo of Soul. And it's like, that's not disclosure. That's not disclosing the fact that you were paid to, not only were you paid, you also had all the expenses paid for, to get on a flight, to go to Germany, to go to their office, to play the game in their office, and then you went home on a flight they paid for as well. Like, that's not disclosure. Saying thanks for, you know, making it possible to play this game. We could say that for every game we play, because that could apply to anything. Thanks to this company for making this game so that I could then play it for the channel, is meaningless. It doesn't have any sort of connotation at all. It's a non-statement. And they're very good at doing that, and they've only recently started to change that. This kind of thing is, in a way, even more kind of insidious and unacceptable to me, because it's not just a lack of disclosure as to a personal relationship. It's actual lies by omission in an attempt to get more money. So they're making money from the video of the game that they have a stake in. They're already getting advertising revenue from the video itself, but for every video they do, if 10% of the people who watch the video buy the game, they then make more money.
And they wouldn't have made videos on the game unless they were involved in it. This is the other thing. Like, I mean, we go back to the... I'll go over the cap guidance in a second, which is these like new UK rules. Well, they're not really rules, they're just guidelines, but it's very easy to sum up, but I'll do that in a sec. But if you look at when I did the video on Frankie, that is a very shameless sort. That's like almost the opposite situation, because it's very shameless, because it's just everything's a branding deal basically, and it's the worst. Like, oh, by the way, they've sponsored me a free copy, which is not English and doesn't mean anything. But he keeps saying that his fan base thinks that's okay, though. This is like a weird situation he's got where it's like, oh, it's fine. Frankie's been given a free game. No, Frankie's probably been paid about 15 to 20 grand to play that game, and you think he's just been given a game. Can you please get real? You know? And it's all. That's, I don't like that. But this is, like you said, even more insidious, because these people are not idiots, and they know that if they admit to their fan base they are doing something for money, and that is not just like, I'm not making a video for you. I'm making a video, guys, because I've been paid for it. Kiri loses his mind and comes at me if he's a 12-year-old nutter who's addicted to Call of Duty and Club Penguin. Is that something? I don't know. Anyway, so this is what caps say, right? Now, they work with the Advertising Standards Agency, and they just say, if you're paid to promote something and the advertiser controls the message, then the content is an ad, and you must say it's an ad. That's basically it. It's straightforward, right? But think about it this way, right? It's only a guideline, so it's not the law. So you don't really have to follow this. But if it does ever become law, you'll have a problem. But
the FTC do investigate people for it.
Yeah. So, and you don't want to be investigated, basically,
No.
So
in a
this
way,
is why Rooster Teeth say theirs is an ad now, because they don't want to be... You don't want to attract that bad attention. Well, let me just finish my point with this. So I'm just going to read it again. So if you are paid to promote something and the advertiser controls the message, then the content is an ad. If the advertiser controls the message,
Yeah,
right,
I don't like that.
let's think about this. We did a branding deal for Civilization, what was it?
Galactic
The Space
Civilization 3.
Galactic Civ 3, yeah. I'll tell you what they said to me. They just said, would you guys like to make some videos on this game? And I was like, sure, what are you thinking? They just said, oh, just do what you like, but we'll pay you for it. It's like, okay. Well, they've not told me what to do. In fact, we just went and did what we liked and got paid to do that. Now, by these guidelines, I could just say, well, they never told me what to do. They just gave me money. And I happened to be playing their game. I could have said it was shit. They paid me before I'd even made the videos. I could have just done what I liked. So it isn't very... I don't like the way they've worded it.
No, I don't like it because if they don't control the message, then that means you don't have to tell anyone about it. I don't like that at all. I mean, they didn't control what we said about Galactic Civilizations, so we could have easily just not said anything about it. We could have just been like, here's a 3-part Let's Play, and people would have gone, why is it only 3 parts? But we wouldn't have had to say
Maybe it's just a case of... Well, I've got some more examples of like other stuff, like brand deals that I've not done, where you do get some which are like, you have to say this, and this, and make sure you talk about this. And it's like, you're trying to tell me to talk about all the positive things in the game. You're also telling me not to play that level or talk about this because it doesn't work or that's not good. That is dodgy. And I think a lot of these really like mega YouTubers, like we're not talking like your Total Biscuits or people of that, or your Jesse Coxes or your Dodgers or whatever. They're big, right? They're 1 million, 2 million subs. We're talking your 6, 7, 8, 10 million subs, like the guys who are in the stratosphere. And I think they get a lot of this. If you follow a lot of the like names on Twitter, like we know Ali A. I follow him on Twitter. Ali A is fine as a person and whatnot. But if you watch him on Twitter, there's like every other day there is a tweet which is clearly a branded tweet, and it will say something like, "Wow, guys, I've just got hold of some fridge raiders or something.
Yeah,
retweet this and you could win some." It's like, okay, you've been paid for that because the guy's got like 4 million Twitter followers. That's paid.
That was a whole thing, wasn't it? That Matheson's fridge raiders thing. That was a
big scandal because everyone. Legends of Gaming, I think, was the thing they tried to do.
There was a whole thing where a lot of channels like they'd have stupid videos where a fridge would turn up in the corner of the room and stuff, and it turned out it was all a big advertising campaign, but none of it was disclosed. None of it was stated. None of it was like, this is part of an advertising campaign for this company. It was just, oh, look at this random thing that's happened. I think this might be one of the worst examples of this. And
I think this is, yeah.
I've just noticed, I apologise to anyone who's watching this, because for some reason my camera's just made me look like I'm coming out of the shadows for some reason. I don't know what's happened to it. But I think this is definitely the worst example of it, because being paid for doing something and not disclosing it, that is quite bad. Obviously, you shouldn't do that because it's just dishonest, and it leads to... It does affect opinions. That's one of the big things. It's like, if you're being paid for something...
Isn't their company called Summit Influencer thing? Because, guys, that's what they refer to YouTubers as, digital influencers. That's what a YouTuber is, or a streamer. It means somebody on a digital platform who can influence an audience to do something. And it sounds really horrible when you say it like that. Because I know we've influenced you to do things, but everything has been because we enjoy it. Like, if I've influenced you to start painting 40k models, I haven't been paid by Games Workshop to do that. I'm doing it because I enjoy it. No, they're not clever enough to do that. So, like, but these guys, it is the worst. Insidious is the best. You came up with it. It is the best descriptive word for what these guys are doing, and it is. They know if they act in a certain way, they can maintain their image of we're making the content for you guys, and it's all fine. And I don't make money off this, although I clearly do.
True.
But
it's not accurate.
It's deceptive. It's very deceptive, and it's a conscious decision. They've gone, let's do this because we can, and we can get away with it.
And there's, in this article, there's stuff in here that is just like kind of laughable in a way. I'm just going to switch back over. Maybe my camera will fix itself in the meantime.
It won't blow.
It does. No, it won't. It says here, it may well be an honest oversight. The FTC's revised disclosure guidelines for YouTubers are relatively new, as is the fact that Let's Play videos can serve as effective ads for games. And both Castle and Montoya have previously published videos, albeit weeks or months ago, in which they speak briefly about being in the development of Dead Realm. Moreover, in direct communications about Dead Realm, 3 Black Dot proudly touts the YouTuber's involvement. Gamasutra received an email from a company representative this week that read, in part, Evan Fong, Vanos Gaming, which is 3.7 million subs, and Tom Cassell, Syndicate Project, and Adam Montoya, 5.4 million subs, all partners and co-creators at 3BD, joined forces to create the first multiplayer PC game that was created by an influencer network specifically for the YouTube community. You're right, I really don't like that phrase at all, an influencer network. It then goes on to tout the number of unique views YouTube videos have made about the game have garnered since its release, all with zero marketing spend. Now, I'm sorry, but to say at the start of that, it may well be an honest oversight, and then for them to say in the message, oh, all with zero marketing spend, bullshit. It's zero marketing spend because the people who are funding the game and are helping to develop the game are using their considerable social reach to do the marketing for it. It's zero marketing spend because their very advertising, their actual marketing, is making money for them. They're not spending anything on advertising campaigns, on Google AdWords or anything, because they can throw up a video, which will cost them nothing to make, on a game that they haven't paid for because they're helping to create it. That video will gain them thousands of dollars. It's the opposite of zero marketing spend. It's marketing where they literally can only make money, either by people buying the game or by people viewing the video. I do not accept in any way that it's an honest oversight. I'm sorry, but I just don't. And if one of them wants to turn up on next week's Hotfix and explain themselves, then that's fine. But right now, it looks like bullshit.
No, it is bullshit. The way this is working, so yeah, it is. They don't have to pay for advertising, and because of the nature of YouTube, what's happening is they're basically making the videos, throwing them out there, and then people are watching the videos. The people who are paying, like the ads on their videos, so the companies that are putting the ads on the videos, okay, YouTube are getting like a percentage. I think it's 30% or something or whatever it is, and then they get the rest of it and shared between their network and whatever. So it's like a weird situation where it's advertising that the viewer is almost paying them to advertise to them, although the viewer isn't, because the viewer's not giving them money, but the viewer's currency in a way, because it's the viewer, and that's what triggers the earnings off those other companies. But if we just go back a bit and we look at what they've done here, so on the face of this is pretty interesting. Yeah, it's a pretty good business idea, because you imagine if you knew a load of YouTubers, right, who were really big, and all the big boys know each other. It's just like out in the real world, all the big companies, they know each other. You know, they've got ties and whatever, blah blah blah, and that's all it is. It's it's who you know, not what you know, and all that shit. They've got together and said, look, we've got massive advertising potential. We know we have, because we've been doing brand deals on our own for the last like 2 years or so. What about if we get a product that we've made ourselves and advertise it and sell it? Now, they've been doing this with T-shirts. We do it with T-shirts. They do it with T-shirts and all that shit and whatever, right? Yeah. They probably have done other things in the past. I know there's been YouTubers who have done things like sold access to Minecraft servers, or, you know, they've had some sort of bullshit going on. I think there's a thing going on with Ark Survival Evolved at the moment with some Polaris channels. There's all that shit goes on, and it's like, whatever. But is this like... It is ethical, and it is fine if they say in the video, hey guys, we make money off it, and that's what we're doing, and then I wouldn't have a problem. But because they don't, because they know then their impact would severely diminish, and this is another problem with people like you, Frankie, and 1080p on PC and all those people. If they flat out say at the start of the video, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a video on Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Now Activision have paid me to make this video. They've paid $10,000, and I'm going to play this game and talk all about it, and it's going to be great, guys. Straight away, $10,000, dislike. That is what will happen, right? That is literally what will happen. So you can't say that. So, hey guys, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Unit Lost. Activision have sponsored me a free copy of this game, and we're going to play it. Let's see. Oh, yes. And then, ooh, he got a free game. Wow, Frankie deserves a free game. I don't know why I said Unit Lost then became Frankie, but that was the persona I was putting forward, because that's the thing. Like I fully think that he's not an idiot as well. But what annoys me, right, is, and this extends to anything in life, doesn't it? You've got people who try and do it right and get fucking shafted, and you've got people who just are wankers and get away with it. If we were wankers, I'd have made a lot more money off Unit Lost, because there'd be videos on everything. I'd have took every brand deal. I wouldn't bother. I wouldn't care what people would say to me. I'd just be like, well, fuck you, I'm here to make money. But when you start to care and you think you have a responsibility here to not be an arsehole, because you are a digital influencer to whatever size crowd you've got, you can't lie to them in good conscience and get them to do things you know are no good, simply because it's for your own personal gain. Now, again, I mean, imagine if... What's a shit game, bloke? Like, well, we're going to get onto this, but Planetary Annihilation, they come up to me and they're like, here's a load of money to say our Titans expansion is great and it's worth buying, even if you've paid shitload of money already on the game with no content. So then I'm going around saying, yeah, guys, you should really buy this. It's so good. It's so good. It's really awesome. When really deep down, I think it's crap. But I'm just saying this to you anyway. Yeah, yeah. People will go out there and buy it. And I've conned them into buying it.
Yeah.
But is this... I know I'm rambling on a bit here, but is this like... Look at the celebrity world. This is where, like, the YouTubers are nothing compared to, like, your mainstream celebrities. They promote stuff on their Twitter accounts, on their Instagram accounts, on their Facebook accounts. And all of it is... Like, none of it's real. It's probably not even posted by them, half of the shit, when it's supposed to be like an update. I mean, there was a thing of David Beckham. Oh, I'm finally on Instagram. And it was like hundreds of millions of views. It's a picture of him like posing in his bed going... And I'm thinking, he can't read or write. So he's not wrote that. You know what I mean?
He can't
like
read
somebody
or write.
else, somebody has wrote that for him and have done all of that. It's like, what?
It is a standard thing, and it's a standard thing if you want to put it that way in the real world. I mean, when you look at all the adverts that you see on TV where there's celebrities going, "Oh yeah, this is a Gillette razor and it's amazing." The thing is,
they don't care about
that world, but in that world, that is an advert. You know what an advert is. You know full well. So it's like you see an advert for Gillette razors and David Beckham shaving his stupid head, and you're like, "Well, I know that this is an advert because it quite clearly says." Buy Gillette razors all over it. It's like it's unmistakably designed to sell you a product. Let's Plays aren't that. Let's Plays are not adverts. They're not supposed to be adverts, let's say. There are plenty that are now, but they did not start out as adverts. They were not designed specifically to sell you a product. They were not designed specifically to show you only the best things of everything. But that's what they're becoming. And I think the reason it's such a big deal and why it's so different to like the outside world is that it's like when you look at TV shows. When you look at a TV show, if a TV show in England has got a sponsored product placement in it,
it's a little P, yeah.
It says on the thing, it's like this P means product placement. And it's not just like the P is there and you don't know what it means. At the start of the show, it's like product placement, P, and then you see it. You know full well that if the judges on X Factor are drinking dickhead juice 9000 or whatever out of a can, you know that is because they've been paid to do that. That's what the product placement is. That's not what happens with that's not what happens with Let's Plays. That's not what people do. Instead, they take the money, they take the product.
Well, you've missed a step here, but I know you know this. But like the problem with the Let's Play is, for years, like you've said, it's just something where we're playing a game, we're having fun. But then when it becomes a paid thing, they don't know. The audience don't know, because we could have just made Civilized Galactic Civ 3 and not said it was a paid-for deal. Nobody would have known, because it was British Empire in space. We spent years doing Civilization, British Empire. They would have been, oh, great, it's another Unit Lost Let's Play. They wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
But we were like, no, it's got sponsored all over it and whatever. And it still did pretty good, view-wise. Probably would have done better, though, you know? If it wasn't.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if I can't go around and do that, because I can't do that.
This is why it's a big deal, and this is why it's a problem. Just because the way that things are done in, you know, outside of YouTube, outside of the gaming industry, that's how it's been done for ages, doesn't necessarily mean that's the right way to do it. And that it doesn't necessarily mean that we should follow that example. Like Sty said, we could have made a stupid amount of money off YouTube by now if we didn't give a fuck about just lying to people and taking everything and anything and just going, oh, whatever, it's money, I don't care whether people are being misled by this or not. But we don't do that because it's not the same thing. It just isn't how it works. And something that really pisses me off about this particular article, well, this story, is the fact that if we go back to the desktop again, and just for this last couple of lines here, Adam and Tom have done a brand integration for Disney Infinity. It's very clear when you watch the video. They're saying, hey guys, Disney asked me to do this video, a representative said. It's clear they're working with the brand to market or promote. Gamasutra then probably watched those videos and never heard either YouTuber say, hey guys, Disney asked me to do this video, nor gave any clear indication that they'd been paid to produce the brand integration videos, only that they'd been invited to play the game early. 3 black dots established disregard for being transparent about its YouTubers' business arrangements is doubly troubling, because complying with FTC expectations by, say, adding a line of text or a graphic that clearly states I had a hand in making these games probably won't make those videos any less appealing, but failing to do so potentially damages the credibility of YouTube as a whole.
Exactly.
Now, I'm
Here you go, bloke.
personally, I'm not a fucking wanker. Sty
Yeah.
isn't a fucking wanker. We don't sit there and lie to you, or try and mislead you, or tell you stuff that isn't true, or take money to try and influence your opinion. But these people do. So when they do, everyone gets up in arms about how YouTubers are liars and a scum, and they all mislead you. And we're sat here like, no, that's bullshit. But somehow I'm getting told with the
And
same
another
brush.
way, and
That
another way,
fucking pisses me
it
off.
pisses me off. And another way as well, the people who get angry with this are generally our fan base, because well, like I said, we don't cater to the idiots. These guys don't care, because the kids and whatever, they don't give a shit about any of this. I mean, I went to his video here, a game within a game, Disney Infinity, on Syndicate Project, and this is his disclosure. There's no need to click or anything. This is all it says. It just says in the description, "Thanks to Disney for the opportunity. It's not every day you go from firing AK-47s and shotguns in Vegas to flying over Utah to get a hands on with an early new game. Learn more here, Disney.Infinity." That is not any... Like,
doesn't
thanks
mean
to Disney
anything.
for the opportunity. What is the opportunity? I could be saying, thanks to Activision for the opportunity of of me making a Black Ops 2 video, because they made the game, which allowed me to have the opportunity of actually playing the game. There's no. It isn't like I have been paid to make this video. I have been paid to make this video.
Thanks the opportunity.
This is an advertisement. I have been. There's none of that, and it's like
Thanks to the
it's
opportunity
so
that
bad.
Sid Meier gave us for making the Civ games, which we then made videos in because we enjoy the game. We haven't been paid for it, but we could easily say that. It's just bullshit. It's bullshit in every way.
It is. It's totally bullshit.
It shows a complete disregard and a complete lack of respect for the people that are following you, for a start. I mean, let alone all the other sort of moral and ethical issues. The fact is that they don't give a fuck about the people who are following them. They are a means to an end. They are a way just to make money. They're nothing more than that, because they can sell those people. And they know full well that they can sell those people with impunity, because they don't have to say anything, and their fans will never question them about it. Compare that to when we did a World of Tanks branding deal like a year and a half ago, was it? And it was like I think it was like a couple of videos or something, and we clearly stated, and this was before the guidelines were even that well known. Frankly, we're like,
you can find them. I'll tell you, if you go to our channel, ladies and gentlemen, and you search for sponsored. I'll find the video. Hang on, save you wrecking your overlay.
But
yeah, so if you just go to like youtube.com/UnitLostTube, the homepage, and just type in sponsored in massive caps and press enter, you'll get all of the sponsor videos. So, you should play World of Tanks. Why you should play World of Tanks sponsored? That's because they said make a video and explain to your fans why you think they should play World of Tanks. So I did, but it's sponsored, and it says sponsored. And it's like massive capital letters, sponsored. And there's a massive annotation, sponsored. In fact, I think the annotation, it should say something like, we were paid to fucking make this video.
I'm just going to switch over to desktop so you can see it. It's clearly...
This is a sponsored video. We were paid to produce this. It says in the...
Yeah. Same for World of Warplanes. And it's same for Smite as well. Right there, it's sponsored.
All of them are
sponsored.
You can see all the ones we've ever done, yeah.
But the thing with that, the thing that made me think of that is, I remember when we made those, someone turned up and actually said on one of the videos, I can't remember which one it was, I won't go through and hunt it down like live because that would be ridiculous. But someone actually said, does this mean all your other World of Tanks videos were sponsored too? We were like, no, we just played World of Tanks. They saw we played World of Tanks and they were like, would you like us to pay you for making a video on World of Tanks? So we did. And then we told you that we were paid for it. Like, and... I don't understand how it's that hard. Like, I don't understand how it is that people can just sit there and go, oh, well, I mean, it's a lie by omission, and it's not honest, and I don't actually like the game, and I don't care about it, and really, I don't give a fuck. I'm just getting paid
Here you go,
for
guys.
it, but I'm just not going to tell anyone.
Since we're going real, I'll read this off. I can't send this to Kiri, but I'll read it off, right? So this is the sort of random shit you'll get sent, yeah? Okay, so I get an email from Purina. Now, you must be joking me, because this is a fucking pet food company, right? And it's like...
Bingo eats Purina.
Okay, right, okay. This was like... Does she?
Yeah.
So he says, hello, Tom, right? We would like you to produce a video on Purina dog food, and we are willing to compensate you for this. We would like you to make a short video, possibly in a series, but we are flexible. Right? So I'm like, right. So I emailed them back, and I'm like, all right then, so what are you looking for? You know? And he says, well, starts going into detail. We notice that you have a dog, right? So they must have seen McGee basically, right, on like a Hotfix or something, and they must have some sort of drive where they're trying to get pet food advertised on YouTube, on gaming channels. It's weird. I mean, I've not seen this on any gaming channels. And he goes on. He's like, blah blah blah. He's like, hello Tom. We want you to leverage your social media prowess, your YouTube channel. He's basically telling me everything he wants me to do, right? What we need you to do is make a detailed review that shows the product in a positive light, right? The video needs to be between 1 and 3 minutes. The dog needs to have tested the product for about a week, and we need to know how the dog reacted. We then need you to list the benefits of this product compared to your normal dog food. We also want to see your dog in the video. That is what they've said to me. Now, I just said fuck off. Like, I never said fuck off. I just said, blah, blah, blah. This is not something we're interested in. Blah, 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 blah. Goodbye. And I mean, you can tell I'm not lying because there's not a fucking Purina dog food video on the channel. But that is a case of them trying to. That's like a company that is not gaming and it's not into YouTube or anything, and it's just trying to say this is what we want in our advert because that's what they used to say when it comes to TV or radio. Yeah. Do this, and I'm like, what? You want me to feed my dog food? Well, it ain't my dog, but feed McGee dog food for a week. It might not even like. You want me to film it every time it's eating and then compile it into a little thing, a montage, and then say how this has made her coat nicer compared to the Uber food she has, which is the most expensive. So there's no way this could be better. Anyway, it's like, you know what I mean? It's just like, oh my God. You know, it's bullshit, guys. But I could have said, yeah, sure, let's go ahead. But let's go ahead. This is how much money I want. Let's go ahead. And
you could have said, let's go ahead, let's do it. The difference is that you said no because you didn't think it was appropriate, and these massive channels say yes.
Yeah, that's but am I an idiot? But am I an idiot for saying no? Because I'd make this video, put it on the channel. I don't think our fans would care. They'd just be like, whatever. But I'd make money for it. So then am I an idiot? Because I've not... This is the thing. And these big channels, they are like... They never miss the opportunity. You know, they always take the opportunity. Yeah. Always take the opportunity. I mean, I've seen random shit with like people standing in the street with a laptop pretending to play a game for HP or something. It's like, what the hell is that? That's just bullshit. And it's on their channels and it's crap and it's downvoted into oblivion or whatever. But they don't care because they're just making mad money off it. It makes me angry, guys. Because I'm like...
I've got nothing against people making money, but I don't see why anyone thinks it's necessary to make money by misleading other people. That's not what... sorry, but I personally, I wasn't raised to do that. So in terms of, is this acceptable? It's fairly simple. Can I tell people that I haven't been
Here's another
bought,
one. This is just turned into like a mad rant. Here's another one. So I'll keep the names out of it and whatever, but basically companies said approached me, some Russian company with a rip-off game for Advanced Warfare. No, Armored Warfare. So World of Tanks, but a modern version. And they're saying, we noticed that you've made videos on Armored Warfare, blah, 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 blah. We want to pay you to make a video on our game, which is some horrendous, like, it looks abysmal. I won't say the name of the game, but it looks abysmal. We want you to do this. We'd like you to make an in-depth video on this. And I'm just like... I emailed him back and I said, is the game finished? Like, what is going on here? And it's crap, you know. And I've sent them a price and I said, this is the sort of thing we'd do it for. And they've emailed back with like, no, maybe. And then I'm looking at it again thinking, well, there's no way I would do it anyway. The only reason I've sent the money to them is just as a joke. Because why would I make a video on a game which is clearly an iPad game?
Yeah. Which
is in a horrendous port and that looks completely broken. Well, it's not a port, it's just a horrendous clone of Armored Warfare. And this just happens, not all day. To say it happens every day is ridiculous. But you probably get 3 of these a month, I reckon. And, you know, I could say, what happens if I just take them all? I'd be way better off at the end of the month. But, you know, here's another one. I mean, this is even more ludicrous. Hello, we would like you to we'd like to include you in our paid video campaign for our product, Benny Fiber. This is a digestive aid. We'd like you to create an amazing video where we send you a package of full Benny Fiber products, and we would like you to answer in the video these questions. What supplements you currently use for digestion? I mean, what is this? Anyway, I'm going on. Are you more interested in health or weight management? How do you think this will resonate with your audience?
Probably not well.
Right.
Which is why there's no video on the channel.
Yeah, yeah.
But
But
see,
I
this
could have
is,
just took
yeah,
this.
but,
You know,
yeah,
I
but
could
see,
have
this
just
is the
took
other
it and
thing.
just gone,
This is the
oh,
other thing.
Benefiber.
It's like, yeah, you
Whatever
could have
that
done.
is.
But right now, when I look at the Unit Lost channel, when I look at the videos that are on there, they are videos that I think people want to watch, and people like watching, and people enjoy, or will get something out of, or create discussion. Some guy turning up going, "Oh lol, this horror game that I helped make and I'm funding and I directly benefit from is so good, lol." That that is not appropriate for. I say it's not appropriate for our audience. It's not appropriate for their audience because
No, no.
they're not in a position to know any better. Like I will look at stuff. I will look at stuff from other channels, not just Rooster Teeth. In the course of running, like doing videos, you go through and you look at what other people are doing. It's good to keep an eye on trends, see what's going on, see is there a game that I've missed that could be good? Is there something that's happened that's interesting? What's this person up to now? You come across videos where there's nothing stated about it being sponsored. And you look at it and you go, why the fuck would this channel play that game? Look at the rest of their content and look at that video. What the fuck is this? And then you look, and funnily enough, all the comments are people going, I don't know why they're playing this. What the hell is this about? And there's tons of thumbs down, and people don't like it and they're hating on it. Rooster Teeth, again, is a good example of this when they played Echo of Soul. Achievement Hunter are fucking Xbox gamers, right?
Yeah.
They are all over the Xbox in a sexual way. Every time they talk about any other games console, it's like, oh yeah, but who cares about PC? Oh, who cares about PS4? Lol, everything's shit but Xbox. And they are mostly serious. But then they would be because they made their living out of Red vs.
Halo.
Blue, which was Xbox, and now they've got massive ties to Xbox. I'm not going to hold that against them. But when you see them play fucking Echo of Soul, a bloody Korean MMO that is now being released in Europe and North America, and has been taken over by a German studio, and they've been flown out to play it, and there's nothing in there to say that they've been paid for it. I look at it and I go, are you fucking serious? And then you look in the description, it's like, thanks for letting us play the game. And I'm just like, I look at that and I know that's bullshit. But the stupid thing is, a huge number of people look at that and go, oh, they're not very good at this, I don't know why they're playing it. They don't think to themselves they're playing it because they've been paid to. They think, oh, maybe it's quite good. Oh, I don't understand why they're playing it, but maybe it's worth looking at.
If 100 people,
bollocks.
if 100 people watch a video, a quarter of a person actually reads the description. That's what we're getting at here, and they know that. So
yeah, that's why it's always buried
doing
at the bottom. It's like when you look at our descriptions, if we were going to go full arsehole, take every branding deal we could possibly get, not disclose any of it because that's how the big boys do it. If you looked at the description underneath the video, you've got the description at the top. Like take Hotfix for example. You've got the link to Patreon. Then you've got the SoundCloud version. Then you've got the timestamps. Then under that, you've got the topics that like a little write up that I do, just saying this is what we've looked at. Then you've got all the links to all the other stuff, the stream, the forums, all of that stuff, Twitter accounts, whatever. If we were full arsehole, then underneath all of that, there would be a little line that says, thanks for sponsoring me this game, or thanks for the opportunity. But we're not. So when you go to our page, and you search for videos, and you search for sponsored, which we did earlier, and again, I'll just show the page just so you can, fully appreciate. Do you know how you can tell if we've done a sponsored video? Because it fucking says so. Right here in the title. And then the first line of the description is, Galactic Civilization is the perfect example of this. Disclaimer, we work with Stardock and they paid us to produce this sponsored series. You've got three distinct, easily understandable, in-your-face acknowledgements of the arrangement between us and Stardock for those videos. Now, we could have just been complete wankers, not said anything, put a tiny line right at the bottom of the description, but we didn't. We did that. And it is true, we could make a hell of a lot more money off YouTube if we did it the other way. But I kind of like the fact that I don't look at my own video page and think to myself, this guy's a fucking dickhead. Because frankly, that's what I think looking at other people's a lot of the time. I'm sorry, and it's going to sound harsh, and you might think, oh,
say
it's
other
childish,
people's, everybody, bloke. I mean, anyone who's over 100, 200,000 subs, whatever, or are operated like Unit Lost, I guess. And if they're doing brand deals, most of them will just the thing is, I've seen I don't want to name anyone, but I've seen attitudes of people with large channels, and I'm just flabbergasted. I'm like, are you really that immature? Like, because
Yeah,
they'll say things like, "Wow, I've just been approached by so and so. They want to give me X amount of dollars. I can't believe it. This is great." And I'm thinking, yeah, but that's because you've got like 300,000 subs, and they want to advertise. They're not just like giving you money. It's like whatever, and then they go away and make the
yeah,
video, and it's like. Or even worse, channels that are centered around review content start doing paid for videos and claim that it's not interfering with their review ethics. It's like, well, you've just been paid by that company. As soon as you take money off them, you've been influenced. We
yeah,
had the whole dilemma, didn't we, before about people from Eurogamer and PC Gamer and websites like that getting
yeah.
paid to go to not getting paid to go to events, but going to events, having a nice meal, getting a free fucking Nexus 7,
And you know
getting
what?
free bits and pieces, and it's like you're being bought, and you are being bought.
This is
You know, when
something
you remember when we went to Ubisoft went to France with Ubisoft,
yeah.
and they were like taking us out for nice slap up meals and all of this shit. It's like, why are they doing that? And
Yeah.
apologizing to us for the hotel as well. And it's like, what? Why are they doing this? Because they're like, oh God, we really love you. We'll do this. We had a little fucking chaperone and all that shit. Crazy.
This is the thing that kind of that gets me. It's not. I say it's not hard to be honest. It isn't hard to be honest. But I just don't. I don't understand where, this whole Gamergate thing, and
Yeah.
part of that is our ethics and journalism, etc. I know that's become the punchline for it, but there are still at least two people, I'm sure, who still think that that's what Gamergate is about. Whatever it's about now at this stage, I've got no idea. Women hate everything. I don't know. There's a massive fuss kicked up about that. People regularly lose their, they lost their shit over that. It was,
Oh yeah.
all these journalists are being bought. They're just being bought. Oh, all their reviews have been paid for. They don't know what, they're not disclosing relationships. This developer had sex with this publisher, or, they
Yeah.
had an affair with this writer, and then he did a review of their game, and blah, 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 etc., etc. Where the hell is the backlash against this? Why is there only a few people talking about this?
And
This
this
is
is
just
way
as bad.
worse.
If
No,
not,
no,
I
this
was
is
going to
worse
say,
because this is
I was going to
massive.
this is just as bad, if not far worse, because YouTube is rapidly, I say rapidly, it's already done it. It's vastly overtaken the written sites. It just
Oh
has.
yeah, it's just blew them away.
The viewership on YouTube videos is monumental compared to the readership of like Eurogamer or Rock Paper Shotgun or PC Gamer or whatever, or Kotaku, whatever you want. And yet, stuff like this comes out, and I don't see these big topics. I don't see people talking about this as much, and it's worse. It's far worse. It's deception on a colossal scale. It's people willfully misleading their fan base for their own gain, and people aren't turning around going, "What the fuck is this? Sort yourself out." Instead, you've got hordes of people going, "Oh, well, as long as you enjoyed the game, it's fine." No, have some fucking respect for yourself. That was one of the most unbelievable things for me about the Frankie video you did. The number of people who turned up and went, "Oh, and he does it for a hobby, so it's fine."
Yeah.
What? Oh, okay, well, my hobby is kicking children. Is that fine? Oh, no, wait. It's still ethically bullshit. So why the fuck is he allowed to do this with that? He's being paid to tell you what to do, and you're defending him. You're literally saying that it's fine that he misleads me. It's fine that he lies to me about what he's being paid to do and what he's not being paid to do because he enjoys it, so he can lie to me as much as he like. What the fuck is that attitude? Where has that even come from? How can people be so, like, utterly blind to stuff that literally affects the way they think? Because when it might feel a bit weird having people say, "Oh, these are like digital influencers and stuff." It might seem a bit creepy, but the fact is that these videos sell products. These videos shift games. Ask
Yeah.
any indie developer that's been featured by Total Biscuit. Ask them whether a video has an effect on the number of people buying their games. Of course it fucking does, because people see someone they look up to, they enjoy the content of, they like listening to, saying this game's great, and they go out and buy the game. To then go, "Oh, well, he might have been paid for it, it might be his game, but it's all fine." That's just unbelievably pathetic to me. It's like the least backboned thing in the world. So, oh well, I'm being lied to, and he's actually influenced the way I think, but he got paid for it. So what? No, fuck off with that. Just, oh god, it does my head in. It's really
I think
frustrating.
at some point there'll be a reckoning for all of this because it cannot just carry on.
There's got
Because
to
it
be a
doesn't.
backlash at some
Something
stage,
will
isn't there?
happen. Well, I don't think it's going to be a fan, but I don't think it is.
Little things. We've had little things like the Yogscast stuff, like Yog Ventures was kind of that was like a little thing. Then they had that whole thing of Yog Discovery or whatever it was, where indie developers could pay them to play their games, and there was a bit of backlash against that. But we haven't seen the massive surge that's needed of people going, yeah, if you're being paid, kindly tell me about it because it's bullshit if you don't. We haven't seen that, and we need to. We absolutely need to, because
we've got an audience base. It's very young though, isn't it? This is my issue with it. I don't think we'll ever see an audience backlash on a scale that's big enough to make these people do anything about it. Because these guys are like 10,000 likes on a video. So what if it's got 300 dislikes? We don't care. We'll just keep going. That's fine.
Yeah.
What will happen is, I hope, there'll be some sort of legal intervention. It'll either be something maybe YouTube say,
like an FTC investigation or something.
Or something big happens. It'll be like, hang on a minute, Syndicate's been investigated by the FTC and he's found to have been being a bastard. So we're going to come after. Oh God, everyone's shitting themselves. I mean, it would have to be the FTC because it's an American body and YouTube's an American site. UK companies and companies, I would imagine, that are based in other countries that use YouTube still have to adhere to their regional law. I mean, we can't just go around and do what we like. We do what the ASA says, and that's fine because they're the ASA. We also do what the FTC say because it's basically the same as the ASA, so it's fine. German ones might be different, or Swedish ones might be different, but at the end of the day, you can't. And that's almost like me saying whatever you say all the time. All in all, at the end of the day, it means the same. I don't know. It's just such a shit situation. This is. I don't like it. I know I could have really abused it and took the piss out of all of you watching these videos and made myself more money. Would that have affected me? Probably not. Would that have affected our relationship? Probably not. Or not as much as it should have done. But what would it do to me? It made me a bit of a shithead, And these people don't care because they can go away and make their videos. Hell, Twitch is another one. There's a lot of Twitch people. A fellow who's named after a tin of meat I like to eat and what Oswald is, seems to do this all the time. Like all the time. And it's like, here's a stream, that's a promo, here's a promo, and I'm just like, I watched Dropped Frames with Lyric a couple of months ago. This is JP's like, I guess it's like it's more like the co-optional podcast, but for Twitch streamers. And they were talking about. They said to him like, "Do you get approached to play games?" And he's like, "Yeah, I do." And they said, "Well, what do you do about it?" And he's just like, "Well, I don't need their money," which is he doesn't need their money, right? But he was like saying, $30,000 plus whatever, which makes sense considering how many people are watching him and all that shit to play the game. And he's just like, no, because he said, I don't want to do that. Because I don't want to be a sellout. But it's okay for him to say that because he's making massive money. What happens if he was only making $1,000 a month, let's say, off his stream, and suddenly somebody's like, here's 30,000? I think he's going to take it. And that's where, like, it was interesting listening to him, but then thinking, it probably wouldn't translate, into...
The problem that I've got is...
But then again, we're the same... Well, no, I've never been offered 30,000.
But he said, I don't need their money. He's earning a lot off his stream. Well, Syndicate is earning a shitload off his YouTube channel.
Yes,
so is Vanos Gaming. But he doesn't need their money.
Hang on.
But he still does it.
Yeah, but if you watch a stream, you see the donations coming in. You see how, like, in that sense, you see it's making money. And it's like, oh, that guy's just made a few $1,000s today alone. The YouTubers, the kids don't know. They don't know. They just see a number and it's just like, they don't know how much that is actually worth.
I really don't want to grow.
It's worth way more than the streamers.
I don't want there to be like an entire like online world where people don't care about how they're influenced. I don't want that. That's genuinely scary to me because the
loot crate's another thing, innit? Look at this. Oh my god, here's a loot crate. Here's a fucking one-up box. Here's a whatever. Yeah, guys, I'm just opening this box. Yeah, they're shit. I'd never. They actually emailed me. I would never ever do a loot crate opening because it is shit. If I sat there and went like, ooh.
The one person that I do like the loot crate openings of is Ashens. That's the only guy who I like watching.
Is he paid to do it though, or does he? Just like
yeah, he's got the referral thing and he's paid to do it. But he
Yes, but
opens
his
up every
channel is
single
about
one,
crap
and
stuff though, anyway, isn't it? So
is,
it
yeah.
kind of
But
makes sense.
that's one of the things I quite like about it, is the fact that you go to any other channel and it's like, oh, an inflatable crown, that's funny, oh, and that's it. Whereas Ashen's goes, a fucking inflatable crown. It's like £1 from Poundland, an inflatable crown. What the fuck is this? And he throws it across the room. And it's like, I would absolutely react the same way. If I'd paid for a box of loot and there was an inflatable crown in there, I'd lose my shit. So I kind of appreciate the fact that there's someone out there. But then again, it's still press for Loot Crate. So, and over the grand scheme of things, one person opening it and saying, everything in this box was shit, but this cool little robot, which I actually quite liked, is not going to affect their sales when you've got hundreds of other channels, one of which really pisses me off, who opens it and always finds everything to be, at least, I suppose that could be helpful. Like, every time. It's like something is completely bullshit and crap, and it's, oh, I suppose that could be helpful. And that, it's just, the way you think and the way you make decisions and what you allow to influence you is a big part of who you are. It kind of dictates the decisions you make. So that the fact that there's such a huge number of people who don't question it, who don't try and work out what's going on, who just accept it at face value of, oh, he's playing this game, therefore he's playing this game because he enjoys it, it's a fun game, I'll buy it, that is genuinely scary to me, because I would never expect anyone who watches us, if I say, like, I talk about Rocksmith all the time, I love Rocksmith, but I have also stated many times that on some of the songs, the difficulty curve is just fucking stupid, it makes no sense. Whenever I play it live and I've got to retune the guitar, every single time I'm like, yeah, the tune is totally shit. Like, it just doesn't work. It's just a load of shit. And I tell you that. If you then come to me and say, I have watched you play Rocksmith, you obviously really enjoy it, it looks like a good way to learn guitar, but I'm aware of these issues, but I'm going to get it anyway, that's great. I don't want someone to see me say, yeah, I enjoy Rocksmith, and go, he enjoys it, I've got to get it. Because that's a complete lack of critical thinking, of analysing what's going on around you. But that's what all of these people who are following, like Syndicate and Vanos Gaming and Seeing
I suppose
that, that's
we
what
don't
they're
have.
doing. It's just,
Yeah, we don't have an audience like that, and we'll never have an audience like that. So it's almost like we could never really speak from experience in that regard. Like, we don't have, like, I don't ever feel like I could go onto the channel now and play a game and just scream and shout and think loads of people are going to buy that, because they'd just be like, what is going on? Because I know what the sub base is like. They'd just be like, hell is this shit? You know, what's going on here? If I sat down, this is like where the loot crate thing comes in for me, because I'd get the loot crate. You know, imagine if I'd sold out, right? So I've got the loot crate and I'm like opening it and I'm like, wow, a GoPro mount. This could probably have some use. Wow. And then I'm like, oh, a plastic thing. Yeah, this is really great. Guys, I really enjoyed the loot crate this month. If you'd like to get this, then this is where you come and order it from. That would be horrific sending out, but I'd have to do the video like that, because that's how the YouTube channel is done. That's how, you know, we are. I wouldn't just be going, whoa, look at this, wow. I'd be like, I'd explain to you what it is, you know what I mean? And say what it, but I'd be lying, you know, I'd be literally lying. Who wants my GoPro mount? Nobody, because it only fits my I mean, admittedly, if there was a GoPro in there for $7, fucking hell, I'd be buying that shit all day. But it's not. Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, like, these big channels have got like an audience where they do exactly what they tell them to do. They can just say, I like Army Paint. It's really good. They'll all go and buy it. I know if I say that, some people may buy it, but I'll probably get questions like, why do you think it's good? But I wouldn't do that. I'd say, I prefer Army Painter primer, and this is black, but I've also got white, because it takes about 30 seconds to dry, and the nozzle doesn't actually get fucked up, yeah? It's the same price as Citadel base coat, but I prefer it to that. That's why, and I'm not bullshitting you, I fucking use it, and there you go. I haven't just gone... Yeah. No, I haven't done that.
He does that on his own time.
Anyway, let's move on if we can. Fucking hell.
Well, we can either go straight on to another sort of divisive topic, or we can save it for another time and go on to something a bit light-hearted, because this could be a heavy hotfix if we go into this.
I'll
this
give
is
you're in control, bloke. What would it be? What would it be?
well, it would be that the American Psychological Association has said that video games cause violence again. And I think I'm all angered out. So we could actually I'll tell you what, we will do it. I'm just going to show you the article. Let me just read the headline again. American Psychological Association continues bad science relating to video game violence. We're not going to read the rest of it because they're wrong and they're fucking idiots with an agenda. So on to the next topic. So now,
Amen.
Fucking arseholes. Do you reckon this is going to save it? Automated tournaments are coming to StarCraft 2. So this is something that Blizzard said was going to be out in November 2014. Do you reckon it's gone? Just dead? They've also said that the new feature is it's not even near finished. So they've said they were going to release it in November 2014. They said it's going to be in the next Legacy of the Void beta update, but they're also saying that it's nowhere near finished. Please keep in mind that everything you see here is a very early implementation of automated tournaments. There are still features to be added, bugs to be fixed, and feedback to be received. Nevertheless, we thought it was time to offer this feature to our players so we could gather the testing and feedback needed to ensure that automated tournaments ends up becoming the best feature possible. So what this does, automated tournaments run in 2 formats. A 3-round single elimination bracket on Monday through Thursday, and a 6-round group stage set up on Friday through Sunday even. The 3-rounders are expected to take 60 to 90 minutes to complete, while the weekend tournaments will eat up 3 to 4 hours. You can only join 1 tournament at a time, and you'll want to be sure you've got enough time for the whole thing, as once it begins, you are locked into that tournament even if you log out or close your client. Any matches you do not play will be automatically forfeit, and each match will be limited to 25 minutes. To me, this sounds like ideal for the kind of the people who've been playing it since release to have tournaments amongst themselves.
Bloke. Since release, why wasn't this in the game since release? Why is the function to only have your own tournament run instead of using external websites and pissing around like with all kinds of shit and having to like get everyone's fucking details and sending messages where they had a you and having all kinds of admins and shit to run the show? Why wasn't this in the game at launch? And why is it in the game with the last expansion? It is just stupid. And I'm sorry, Blizzard, but it's too fucking late because this game now, it's got the lowest player base it's ever had. It's got to have. And this expansion will sell the worst out of all of them. It's got to do. It just has to do. I don't think it'll beat the Heroes of the Storm. No, Heart of the Swarm.
Yeah, that seems unlikely.
That is. It won't beat their sale figures because people wanted it to be the game to be refreshed after Wings of Liberty, and it was on like a high. Everybody, I mean, I was addicted to it then. Loads of people were addicted to it, but then it just really went downhill, and now it's just too little, too late. To be honest, that's my entire thought process on all of this. It's just too little, too late.
I think you're absolutely right. I don't. It was supposed to be in last year, but as you say, something like that should have been in from the very start because it would keep people playing and it would keep tournaments relevant. And you never know, it might have meant that they'd paid a bit more attention to the whole esports side of it instead of just fucking it up continually, just for no reason and messing it around. Because at least there'd be some sort of format for it. It's not going to work at all. Speaking of stuff that should be in games from launch. This is the announcement of Planetary Annihilation Titans, which was announced and released on the same day, and no one had any idea it was coming. So, Planetary Annihilation Titans is an updated version of the sci-fi real-time strategy game, and is now out on Steam. Titans adds 21 new units to the game, including 5 huge Titan-class units. Elsewhere, there's new multi-level terrain, a new bounty mode, and an improved tutorial of the single player, because you need that in the expansion. Don't put it in the base game, will you? No.
Yeah, true, yeah.
Uber took Planetary Annihilation to Kickstarter back in 2012 and raised an impressive 2.2 million, which they apparently did fucking nothing with, judging by the state of the game is at the moment. Titans is free for Planetary Annihilation's 44,000 Kickstarter backers and on sale with a discount for those who own the original game, so you don't have to pay full price for that, aren't you, lucky boy? It takes everything we've learned from Planetary Annihilation over the last 2 years, plus feedback from our players, and combines it into a new experience. Developer Uber Entertainment said. What the fuck is going on? Firstly, why were Titans not in the game originally, given that it's like the spiritual successor to like Supreme Commander, and they even said that, and there were no experimentals in the base game. So why were the Titans not in there to begin with? Why have they waited all this time to do it? Why did they not announce it? Why is it not a free update to a game that was massively disappointing for all backers? Why is stuff like an improved single-player tutorial only just been implemented after fucking years of it being out?
Yeah,
I
oh
don't.
dear.
I just.
Oh dear. Right,
This has
well,
got to be one
let's
of the
go to the start of
stupidest
this.
things I've
Why
ever
wasn't
seen.
this advertised? Like,
I
they
don't.
had a load of bad press the other week where they just were like, "Oh, the game's where we envisioned it to be, and we're fine with that."
Which
And
is a
yeah, there we go.
lie, by the way.
And it's
It's
like,
not where they envisioned it to be.
no. Anyway, next week, whoa, expansion. It's like you didn't tell us about this, but like Kiri says, all this expansion does, like it says, it puts in 21 new units. The unit variety in the game was very, very weak, right?
Yeah.
It needs these units. These should have been in the base game anyway. Experimental units, or Titans as they call them, again, should have just like been in the game because
Yeah.
the whole point of Planetary Annihilation is massive scale. Like, you should have massive units. Why were they not in the game? It's like, all right. I know they faffed around doing things like making special, like, commander skins and shit. It's like crap people don't care about.
Yeah.
But this game is such a. It really annoys me, this game does. It really fucking annoys me. I've not played the Titans expansion because guess what? I don't think I'm going to get it for free because I don't think I'm an original Kickstarter backer. I might be. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I bought the game, so I think I need to buy this, and I'm not going to buy it. In fact, here we go. This is a good little rundown. I am not going to buy this because your game doesn't have enough content in, or it has not impressed me enough to make me spend money on additional units. I don't care.
Yeah.
So there you go.
One
And
of
why
the
am I not
things
buying it? Why is it not free for everyone? Oh, that's right. Because you want to make more money off your game which isn't finished and is not at the state it should have been at when you proclaimed it was basically finished the other week.
And also, when you go to their Kickstarter, when they announced their whole, oh, well, the game's done. You know, they did that post. We talked about it last week.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, the game's done. A lot of the backers haven't received the rewards that they were promised.
Oh, yes,
So
the physical rewards as well, yeah.
there's also that side of things where it's not just that the game isn't in a suitable state and that it was kind of left in a way that people weren't happy with, but the people who liked the game the most and pledged the most haven't received the rewards they were promised for it. But now it's okay because they get this unannounced expansion that they've been working on for ages, which has got improvements that should have just been in the game from the start. They get it for free, so that's okay. I don't understand the logic of this at all. I don't think there is any logic to it. And it's not going to save the game. It's not going to save it. I mean, the only people who give a fuck about Planetary Annihilation at this point are the people who backed it. And even then, when you read the comments from them, a lot of them not that keen anymore, funnily enough, because it's almost like they've been messed about for a couple of years and not received the stuff they were promised. To kind of just turn up and go,
It's
oh,
the
by the way,
age-old thing.
We've got new multi-level terrain. That was supposed to be a big thing. There's now actual planets with oceans, so the naval units that have been in the game since the start actually can be used for something, because there was like none
ignored,
before that, which was like, what kind of stupid logic was that? Uber have really pissed me off with Planetary Annihilation because it should have been good, and it's just not. They fucked it up really badly, and it was an interesting idea, but the way they've handled it has been really, really poor. Like, they don't seem to actually care about the people who backed it. They talk about how, oh, it's feedback from players. Well, most of the feedback has been, why have you fucked this game up? Like, where's all this basic shit that you'd expect to be in this style of game from this studio? Where is all this stuff? Why isn't it there? And so to fix it all, they release something that most people have got to pay for? That's not acceptable, is it? That's bollocks.
I mean, like, yeah, so I could get this for 10 quid. Like, I have to pay 10 quid for this. But it's what this is it's the age-old thing of we're going to sell stuff we should have actually have already made. Oh, shit, we need more units in the game because we've got no variety. Naval units are garbage, so we need actual places where you can use the naval units. We need Titans as well, or experimental units, so we're going to make them. But you know what, guys? It's taking so long to make it, our profit's going down, so we're just going to sell this as an expansion, when really it's just an update. That's what I hate. This is like DLC, but being... I mean, it's $29.99. That is the price of this. If you don't... Like, if I turned up now and bought Planetary Annihilation, I would then have to pay 30 quid, this Steam price, for this game as well. So that would probably be 60 quid for something which is not worth 15 quid.
Absolutely not worth it in any way.
Really bad.
God's sake. Dad, can we have some good news this Hotfix?
No.
We've got a light-hearted story at the end. That's right. I'm looking forward to that now. Actually, no, this could be classed as good. This could be classed as good. Rainbow Six Siege has been delayed, right?
Yeah.
Now, I know it sounds weird that this could be good, but it was originally scheduled to come out on October 13th, and it's been delayed, and it will come out on December 1st. And Ubisoft has said this wasn't an easy decision, but based on the feedback we've received, and based on our own internal tests, we felt there are adjustments and improvements we can make, including improving the co-op experience across all game modes, weapon and gadget balancing, as well as menu and interface navigation. We're taking a little more time to make these changes, and we think that it's the right call. I like this because I think this is a culmination of a few things. We all remember Assassin's Creed Unity. You can't possibly forget it because every time anyone writes any article involving Assassin's Creed, the screenshot of the guy without a face is on the front page, which I called the day that screenshot appeared, pretty much. I was like, every time someone talks about Assassin's Creed, that is the screenshot you will see forever. Yep. And it is that to be absolutely true. They also had the clusterfuck that was Watch Dogs. That was knackered and broken. It didn't work properly. So Unity, Watch Dogs, that was not a good combination. People complained about the crew as well. The crew had a few issues as well. Rainbow Six Siege has been delayed. The Division has been delayed as well. Recently, Arkham Knight released on Steam, and everyone was really happy with it. So happy it got pulled from sale, and it's still not back on sale because they're still fixing it. Are we actually starting to see AAA developers do what they should have done in the first place, which is listen to feedback, actually
I don't know why I'm
test
turning
games.
to Ali G.
No, I don't. And try and fix stuff before they come out? Could this be the start of a new revolution where Ubisoft, of all companies, given the state of Watch Dogs and Unity, are actually putting their hands up and going, it's not ready for release, so we're not going to release it.
Yep.
That is like,
I think it is
growth. That's like watching a baby start to walk. That's amazing. This company did not give a fuck.
Yeah, but this baby could originally walk, run, and jump, and then it just regressed into some sort of retarded state where it's rolling around on the floor, just spewing out shite out of the side of its nappy. I think you're right. I think what's happened is Rainbow Six Siege. What? That game is obviously not finished and does need more polish, and it will not meet its original launch date. So we have to push it back because if we launch it, people will refund the shit out of this, and this will fuck us. So we can't do that, and we don't want the negative press. So the only way to get around this is to spend more dollars to begin with, or euros, whatever the hell they're spending, to actually make the game acceptable when it launches. And like you said, they're doing it with the Division, which I still don't understand what that is, but whatever. Yeah, I think it's a third-person Destiny clone or something.
It's really confused me, that has, but yeah,
it is good news because it's better than good news because of the company it's from. That's the difference.
Yeah, I mean,
I know they've got their own store. Well, they've got their own store, but they still sell on Steam. I think they still sell on Steam. Right?
They do, yeah. I think all of their titles are still available on Steam. The fact that it is Ubisoft is actually quite good because they don't make shit games. The games are repetitive, but they're not terrible. But they are broken, and they've been severely broken. They had, like we just said, they had a couple of really bad, really rough releases. And the fact that they're actually stepping back and going, yeah, we're going to stop releasing stuff that's like pretty obviously knackered on release, and instead we're going to push it back. Because it does actually, I think when people see that stuff's been pushed back or been delayed, it's like, oh, well, it doesn't matter. It just means it's going to work anymore. It actually costs money to delay stuff because it's not just a case of a publisher just goes, we're releasing it on the 3rd of September. I changed my mind. We'll do it in December instead. There's a whole process of build up and printing of physical copies and storage and maintenance and all, and PR and marketing and advertising and all this kind of thing that goes into a massive game release, which obviously Six Siege and
remember a publisher of this size is managing multiple projects, so what he doesn't want to be doing is really promoting one product while another one's about to launch. That would be counterproductive.
It's a very big thing to do, and the fact they've done it not just to one game now, but two that they're not happy with. I actually genuinely like that. And again, and we say this every time a game is delayed. If you're sitting there going, "Oh, but I wanted to play it. I want to play it. Why I've delayed it?" So that you can play it, because if they didn't delay it, you probably wouldn't be able to play it because it would be shit. So don't complain. Just sit there and wait and be patient, and you might actually get a decent game. Not a repeat of Unity or.
Is anyone even really pumped for this anyway? It's just like another FPS game where you can blow the walls open.
I gather the Tom Clancy, like the Rainbow Six Vegas crowd, quite like it because that was a like a really big game at the time. I think people who liked that one are really keen on this one. I
Yeah.
don't really know how similar they are. I've only seen a couple of clips of it, but it looks interesting. But
I've
it
not
looks a
played
bit
it because I
weird.
asked Ubisoft for alpha access and they said no. So there you go. Don't like us.
Let's go to another FPS. Let's go to the Duke. The Duke bloke
Is he back, bloke? No,
his
he's not.
court settlement has come in, and the parents have divorced, but his dad's going to get him. So 3D Realms and Gearbox and Duke Nukem legal battle. There was a whole thing. 3D Realms want Duke Nukem, but Gearbox also want Duke Nukem, and one of them was working on one of them, and the other one was working on the other one, but they weren't allowed to work on it, but they thought they were, and it resulted in a whole horrendous mess. Which that was the worst shorthand for it, but just whatever.
It was a horrendous mess.
It was a horrendous mess. So what has happened is that it's finally gone. The lawsuit's finished. Gearbox now has Duke Nukem. They now own Duke Nukem. It is theirs. They can have it. They can keep it. Which means that we, the lucky public, the lucky gamers, will maybe get another Duke Nukem game. And I know you're excited, bloke, because the last
We
one
will.
was a roaring success.
Don't you
And was-
remember? We talked about this with Hotfix. Okay. We talked about this with Hotfix the other couple of weeks ago with Gearbox and their Duke Nukem, their plans for another Duke Nukem, and we went on like how they
ruined it?
well, well, forever was ruined, yeah. But I mean, they're in a situation where if they make a good Duke game, then I think they would kind of be sort of let off, which is bad because they can say, well, it wasn't really all of us, the other one. But if
Yeah.
they make a shit game, then it will just be like, what the hell is this? We are going to get another Duke game. This much is true because they wouldn't bother fighting for the IP of this game. They wouldn't care
Yeah.
because I can't imagine Duke Nukem actually sells a lot. You know, Duke 3D and the even older Dukes, and then Duke Nukem Forever. They must make nothing really. They
Yeah.
can't imagine their sales right now are anything to shout about. So why keep the IP? Well, okay, for one thing, keeping hold of IPs is probably a good practice if you're a big business, especially somebody like Duke who is iconic. So you could come back with like,
Yeah.
oh, here's a Duke game. They will do that. The question is, what the hell will it be? And will it be? I'm sorry, we're making Borderlands 5 at the time, so here's 50 quid to develop Duke, like they tend to do.
Yeah. It's- all the money will go to Borderlands, and that'll be the end of it. Duke will never see the light. I just they obviously fought for it because they want it, so they obviously intend to use it. But I don't know if there's enough of a hardcore Duke fan base to make it worth it for them. And you say they might get a pass if they produce a good Duke Nukem game. Does anyone care about it that much by now? Really? I mean, after
Well,
the state that
you hit the nail on the head when we spoke about this last time. You said Duke Nukem he's supposed to be an over-the-top all-American action hero, so he likes the ladies, he likes big guns, and he's crude. That's what he is. But in Forever, they turn him into an immature child throwing poo around and shit like that. It's like, well, that's
Yeah.
what he wouldn't do that. Duke Nukem is the guy who goes into the bar while he's killing pig aliens and the strippers dancing, going "Shake it, baby," chucking money at him. That's what Duke Nukem does. He's
Yeah.
not. I pick up poo out the toilet and write on the whiteboard, but that's what they turn him into. Now they either go even stupider like that to try and appeal to really immature people, or they try and bring him back as this like why everybody loved Duke 3D because he was just like
Yeah.
over the top, ultra man's man, just running around with loads of guns, throwing money at strippers while he's killing aliens. That's what he did.
Yes, they could get it back to that. It might be okay, but they'd have to work hard to remove the stain that is Forever. Speaking of stains that won't be
Forever
removed,
stain.
the Forever stain. Windows 10 has killed Safe Disk or Secure ROM DRM. So this is if you're of a certain era, you will remember Safe Disk and Secure ROM. So there's a couple of examples here. Windows 10 won't run games that employ Safe Disk or certain versions of Secure on DRM, rendering hundreds of old disk-based games potentially unplayable without complex workarounds. Games which use these forms of DRM range from Crimson Skies to Grand Theft Auto 3, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2004, Christ, to the original The Sims. That really gets on my nerves. It's called The Sims, so whenever you talk about it, it's the game The Sims, and I feel like it should just be the game Sims or the original Sims. But Windows 10 won't allow it. It says no. Windows 10 says you can take your save disk and you can take your secure ROM and you can get the fuck out. And the issue was touched upon by Microsoft's Boris Schneider-John. I think that's how you pronounce that. Probably isn't. Of this year's Gamescom. The video is in German, but the segment at the timestamp linked above says everything that ran in Windows 7 should also run in Windows 10. There are just two silly exceptions. Antivirus software and stuff that's deeply embedded into the system needs updating, but the developers are on it already. And then there are old games on CD-ROM that have DRM. This DRM stuff is also deeply embedded in your system. And that's where Windows 10 says, sorry, we cannot allow that because that would be a possible loophole for computer viruses. So that's why there are a couple of games from 2003 to 2008 with secure ROM, etc., that simply don't run without a no CD patch or some such. We can just not support that if it's a possible danger for our users. There are a couple of patches from developers already, and there is stuff like GOG where you'll find versions of those games that work. Now, something that I really love about this is, firstly, I want to know who is still installing games from 2003 to 2008 using their CD-ROM. Because it's 2015.
Hang on. You want to know that, but...
Do I really? I probably don't, do I?
No, because that's a really bad thing to say, because I know what the comments will be, and I know what the mentality is. People like physical game collections, and they may have considerable collections from that era that they do like installing. Are you telling me now I can't install my Modern Warfare 4 off my disc? Well, fuck you, bloke. That's not acceptable.
Yeah.
So that's that. But anyway, carry on.
Yeah, but what the thing, something that I really like about this is just the simple classic irony that this really harsh DRM, because like safe disk and secure all of that, it was really brutal. Like some of it had like hard limits on how often you could install the game and stuff.
Yeah.
It was really over the top. The way round stuff like that in secure ROM is to find a no CD patch.
Yeah,
which is what it was supposed to prevent. It's like the whole point was, oh, you can't pirate this game. Nah, no pirating. Nah. Yeah, the only way around it is to get something that allows you to pirate the game.
Download the ISOs, mount them in daemon tools, install them, and then get the old no CD crack. Everyone knows how to do it. So yeah, it is funny. I think it's funny that that's the way around it. But like this is I don't know what this is called, but a guy, like a scientist, wrote a thing on this where this whole notion of, you know, we've got like, we're on Windows 10, yeah? Well, when we're on Windows 95, well, Secure ROM is actually an example of this. So Secure ROM doesn't work on Windows 10, but it did work on all the previous Windows. Now imagine if Secure ROM was a PDF file. And let's go 20 years into the future, and no longer do computers understand PDF files because the formats have totally radically changed. So you've got a lot of data now people have got saved in PDFs that can no longer be accessed unless you use an ancient system to access it. Now look at where we are right now with computers. Everything is like, you know, Windows 10 was just given to you. It's like it's cloud-based, internet updates, bang, straight away, there's the update. And this is how things are going to get as time goes on. You know, so you're going to be in a situation... I don't know what they call it. Digital something it's called. Because the example is always of the memory stick with the files on, with family photographs on. But then no more can you view these photographs because you actually need an operator. There was another example of it is like a really old like IBM computer. Like there's a type of language that only works on IBM computers, doesn't work on anything else. I think it was an IBM computer. It might have been some other weird brand or some shit, but like it no longer works now because that's not the adopted thing. But that code, that program would still function if it had that platform to run on, and it's frightening when you think about it.
In a way, we kind of inadvertently gave an example when I said, like half jokingly, who is going to be installing stuff off your disc from 2004? We're in 2015. I've said that because I don't have a big collection of physical games, and I don't have the capability to install anything off discs.
Hang on a minute. You anime freaks, Steins Gate, I'm sure that has something with it in as well. Because I'm sure they need an old computer to understand something. Because I watched enough episodes to get to that before I was like, this is weird, and I'm not watching this anymore. But I'm sure they had a computer in that which was old, and they needed it for something. Anyway, sorry, Mr. Curio.
But yeah, we kind of gave an accidental example of that just now, because I'm like, oh, who's going to be installing stuff off a disc in 2004? My computer doesn't have the capability to install from discs. I don't have a DVD drive. I don't need a
Yeah.
DVD drive. I don't have any DVDs. Like I've got I've got a copy of World of Warcraft Cataclysm. Right, it's under my second monitor because I've got monitor stands, and I'm cheap. And
Hang on, your monitor's balanced on top of the box.
yeah, and on top of
Amazing.
Warhammer Age of Reckoning, and the other one's balanced on Dawn of War 2 Retribution. But it's like I've got the discs in there. I could conceivably take the disc and put it in the computer to install, but I don't. I don't even have a DVD drive in this computer because I can just open up Battle.net as I did earlier this week and just download all of World of Warcraft, including the ones I don't own, because that's the only box I still own from World of Warcraft. I don't own any of the discs for the originals, and I don't own any of the discs for the new expansions. So
What
to
do
me,
I
that's
actually?
like
Yeah, yeah, that's right. I've got.
that's like a medium that for me doesn't exist. Discs don't exist in
I
this
like
in this
owning.
office.
I
just
like
don't
owning.
have
It's
them.
weird. I like owning them, but I don't know why. Because it's so like I wouldn't. You give me the choice right now: download the game or get the box. I'm downloading the game because I want the game right
Yeah.
away. I don't want to fuck about. I love it for like PR purposes because we can just get sent keys and instantly download games, and that makes our
Yeah,
business
yeah.
way easier. We ain't got to wait for stuff to turn up. But on the other hand, I would also like to own the game physically, but it's of no point to me because, like you, how the hell would I install it
Yeah.
without a DVD drive?
I,
And
I was I was kind of like that. In a way, I'm still sort of like that with DVDs.
or a Blu-ray drive or whatever they'd be on these days.
But I just yeah, it's just I just don't even have the capability of installing stuff from a disc anymore. And I haven't for a good couple of years. And you know what? Not once has it been an issue. I just haven't cared. Like when I came to build this computer, because we had to replace my machine. At first I was like, oh, I'm gonna need a disc for Windows. You don't need it. You can just install it from a thumb drive anyway. So that was just again, that was like for a second there, I was thinking, oh man, I haven't used one of those in years. Am I gonna have to buy one? And with a cursory Google, it was no, don't have to buy one. Not even relevant anymore. And that's just kind of like that's where that comment came from. Because for me, it's just not even a thing. Not it just doesn't even factor in. But yeah, it's I just like this story because it's safe disk and secure ROM. They were really harsh, really sort of deeply rooted. A lot of it was you can only install it 3 times and then you can fuck off. And now to get it running on Windows 10, find an OCD patch, which is what they were designed to prevent in the first place. It all comes round in the end. It doesn't matter how hard you try. At some point, something's going to happen, and people are going to be messing about with your game. I think for the last thing, we're going to go to this, and this is something you found earlier in the week, and I really like this. So this is from Tech Radar, and this Chinese PS4 and Xbox hybrid is a laughably blatant knockoff. So, oh dear. Is it called? It is called the Ouyi, isn't it?
Yeah,
Or was
it's
that
like the
there?
oh yeah, but they call it the ooh yee. Ooh
Yeah, it's the
yee.
Ouyi. Time to play a game. It's called Find Some Part of This Console that isn't infringing on someone else's
Yeah,
copyright.
yeah.
Pro tip: you can't.
It looks
So-
like a PS4 and it's got an Xbox controller.
It does, but the thing is, parts of it look like the Xbox One. So
Yeah,
the
it's like the
little
grill thing, yeah.
bit, yeah, the grill
Yeah.
on the side is like from the Xbox One, but the shape is blatantly the PS4, and you can see there that is it's quite obviously an Xbox One controller, and in fact I'll switch back over to the overlay quickly just so you can see, just in case you've forgotten what one looks like, because funnily enough I'm holding one in my hand.
Hey, I've got one over here as well. Look. Woo!
Yeah, so that's an Xbox One controller, right? That's the Xbox One controller. So now, if I turn it back onto the desktop, spot the difference. It's slightly. Oh, it's not. I was going to give it unfair credit, right? I was going to say I'm holding it up
No,
next to it.
it's exactly the same, mate.
I was going to say that at the bottom it's slightly more angular, but I just had my controller at the wrong angle. So it is exactly the same. The profile is identical.
See, China is a place we don't understand, and I'm pretty sure what's happened is the factories that are producing these things, right? Some guy is just in the factory gone, oh fuck it, and just sold the complete design schematic to somebody, and they're just printing it off like we're making it without the Xbox button. That's all they're doing.
But the thing is, it's even still got
Copyright
the Xbox
doesn't
button.
in China.
It just brings the little thing down, that little shiny
Yeah,
bit
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Just brings it down a bit further and sticks more buttons there. And there's got to be some form of copyright control here. I mean, even the name of it, it's just the Ouya, but with an E instead of an A. So it looks like the PS4. It's got an Xbox One controller, and it's got the name of another console, and yet somehow this is apparently like
It's on a
fine.
Kickstarter
It's
as well,
okay.
isn't it? Like a Chinese
Yeah,
Kickstarter or something.
it's being
How much is
funded
it
on a
made?
Chinese website. So let's have a look.
This is going to be
We're not going to
an
be able
ask.
to understand anything it says. Although hilariously, the URL is no. Go on. Do we translate it for terrible Chinese
Yeah,
translation?
do it.
This page is being translated.
Oh my god.
Come on. It's taking its sweet time. In fairness, there's a lot. This page has been translated, it says. Well, it blatantly hasn't because it's still in Chinese. But we'll have a look at it anyway. Good work, Google. Excellent. You've done it again. So yeah, as you can see, it's being funded to the tune of 100,000. It's yen, isn't it?
No,
Is
isn't
it
that
yen?
yeah? Isn't that Japanese?
Is
Yeah.
that Japanese? What's the do a quick Google. I can't actually tell whether it's hit its goal or not.
Maybe it is yen. Yawn. How much is it anyway? I'll do the conversion. What are we on?
It's
100,000.
100,000. Yeah, it needs 100,000. It's highlighting.
That's only 10 grand. It's like
Oh, is
10,000
that only
quid.
10 grand? It's highlighting the text, and it's like this is the original text. It's the same as the text it's highlighting. It's brilliant. So
I'm sure. Hang on.
they've got-
I'm sure yen is Japanese. Hang on. I might be totally wrong here, but I need to fucking have a look. Yen currency.
It seems to be.
Yeah, Japan. Japanese yen. And theirs is the yawn.
Okay.
The yawn or something like
Right.
that. That's what it's called.
So something else I like
Yawn.
is when you actually look at the page for this, when you scroll down, there's quite clearly a screenshot of Assassin's Creed partway down the page,
Yeah.
showing. I think is that Sam Connor, whatever his name is. Connor. No, it is just Connor. Where did I get Sam from?
So I
Sam
don't know the
Connor.
names of the wankers from
Is that
that
the guy
game.
out? Is that the guy out of Terminator? Sam Connor.
John Connor.
It's John Connor. Don't know where I got Sam from, but I think that's Connor. I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I don't know that Assassin's Creed will be available on the Ouyi with its PlayStation 4 body and the Xbox One controller. I suspect that Ubisoft wouldn't be licensing it. For
We
that.
don't even know what's in it. I mean, it's just a. What is it? What components are in it? It's just a thing.
I would love to tell you, but it's.
I
not,
want
it's
one of
really
these. Somebody
not.
needs to get one and do a review. That
According to this picture,
Anders,
it's got a
what's
little
his
computer
name?
chip in it.
Anders is a guy from fucking Battlestar Galactica.
Oh God, what have I done here? I changed the Kickstarter thing.
Ash, I get him to do a review of this.
Do you want a fit neck or a Finneck? I accidentally
Finneck.
changed the page, and now it's on something called Finneck, which is some bald woman holding.
What, are you just like browsing their fucking Kickstarter looking for shit?
I thought I was going to a different like a different image, and I went to a different page. It's like a Bluetooth necklace that tracks your head movements or something. So yeah, that's yet another example of. And now I can't get back to the original. Whatever. I'm just going to sit here and look at this crazy glass that is also a temperature color thing. Seriously, what is that? What is that? What is it? I don't understand. So yeah, China, long history of completely ignoring copyright and doing what they like, and well, they're at it again. So you hopefully, I think it might be funded. You know, it might be funded, but I can't tell because it hasn't translated it. If it is funded, then we'll do our own Kickstarter to have one shipped over here, so we can take a look at it and see what the build quality's like.
Oh,
If we pick it up and it would just bend and fall.
I'm doing that thing where I get progressively close to the webcam throughout the show.
You were doing all right until then, but then you would deliberately move as close as possible. I'm going to turn your face off if you get that close. I can do it. I've got the power. Except I won't do it because I don't know what it'll do to the overlay. That is it for this week's Hotfix. If you enjoyed it and you want to support Hotfix, which we greatly appreciate, every little helps, then go up there. There's a little thingy, which this is the right direction now because I've mirrored. No, that's Tesco bloke. Learn your supermarkets. Because I've mirrored the image now, so I'm going the right way. No, it's Tesco bloke. Asda is that's Asda price. Every little helps is Tesco.
He's right. What's Morrison's?
I've got a Tesco club card in my wallet,
You
so I know what it
bastard.
says on it.
They're
And
tracking
also,
you.
there's a
What
link
did
down
Morrison
there
say?
as well. We can only
Market
afford
Street-
Richard Hammond.
Market Street Value or something like that. No, they've got them little bastards, them Geordie bastards dancing around.
What is it? Morrison's slogan. I somehow typed it slow gin. I don't know how I did that.
You have to
Apparently, it's fresh choice for you. No, that's from 2007. Get lost. What is that about? What's the slogan for 2015?
Aldi. Yeah, I've got Aldi. Spend a little, live a lot. Spend a little, live a lot. Spend a little, live a lot.
Spend a little, live a lot.
I get really annoyed when people call it Aldi.
Yeah, it's Aldi.
Aldi. It's Aldi.
It's
man.
not an O, it's an A. It's like GIF and
Lidl.
GIF. Which is it, bloke? GIF or GIF?
It's a GIF.
It's clearly GIF. When the guy says, "Oh, well, I made it," I get to decide.
Lidl's slogan: "Quality is cheaper."
That's not right.
These are shit. But anyway, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. What was you saying, Mr. Kirill? Before we started talking about supermarket
GIF,
slogan,
not GIF. That's not how the English language works. If it was going to be GIF,
no,
it would need to be spelled GEIF.
Support for the Hotfix, man.
Oh yeah, no, I was doing that, but then you interrupted me. So go there, up the top left, right. I've confused myself now because I was mirrored at the start of this and then I switched it. All down there in the description. Everything you can do to keep the show going is brilliant because it relies on Patreon to keep running, as does Pubcast because they are sister shows. Come back on Saturday at 2 p.m. BST for Pubcast.
The right face then.
He might still be awake for that. You never know your luck, or he might have passed out.
I'm alive.
TARDIS and flying away again.
Yeah, get it out. That cost me 50p to make.
It costs less than that. That's only a 1p drawing if I've ever seen one. So come back on Tuesday for Pubcast and come back next Thursday for Hotfix.
Sweets. They were beautiful. A Postman Pat. It was 1p. They were fucking awesome.
We're going, ladies and gentlemen. This has just turned into drivel. It's been the least laser focused start and end, but it's been laser focused all the way through.
I think it was the cola bottles that were one.
Just buy an individual cola bottle. What year are you from? Just buy a pack of them. Haribo.
I don't like Haribo.
You sicken me. This is over. You're fired. Get out.